beauties, thank you so much for kicking it with me. Now this look, I love it. So it's all about keeping it natural, but of course it's makeup, so you wanna put a little oomph in there. So this is a natural, this is my go-to look. Yeah? Nothing, no shadow, nothing. Alright guys, so if you've not yet done so, please remember, subscribe, leave me a like, and of course a little comment. Tell me something that you want to see. Just hit your girl up, alright? And guys, for those who've been kicking it with me since day one, listen, I appreciate you guys, and I have to tell you that I love you guys for pushing me. Thank you so much guys for keeping it RB. Thank you for keeping it beautifully flawed. And guys, until we meet again, but don't forget, rock your flaws. Okay ladies, I will be jumping straight on into the foundation, and I'll be using my Kiss foundation. It's a Pro Touch foundation, and it's in the shade Chestnut. Now the reason I chose this particular foundation is because I wanted something that has a bit of sheer. I don't want it to be full coverage. I want it to look a bit on the natural side, and my regular is the, of course, Maybelline Superstay, and it's mattifying, and I want to have that natural glow because of the look I'm choosing to do today. So just going in and making sure I get it all blended. But I know you didn't realize, but I'm telling you anyways. I have behind me my little bundle of joy, and I had to have him with me in my video. Well, he's not necessarily showing up, but I did this voiceover for two reasons. One, I didn't want to wake him, and I also wanted this video to be I was planning on giving you guys a shorter video this time around. So when I'm here in the video talking, it does take time because I have to really explain everything to you. So I decided to instead use a voiceover today. So I'm using here my LA.Girls Pro Conceal in the shade Toffee. Now the reason I chose Toffee for this look, Toffee is darker than Fawn. Fawn is a bit bright, and you want to keep it as natural as possible. You still want to get your highlight without it being too bright. And doing this as well, ladies, what it does, it helps to conceal any imperfections under eye, for example your dark spots. And so I tend to use a lighter hand when I'm doing natural looks or my regular or my go-to looks. I also take it on my lid. I won't be using any eyeshadow. I take it on my lid to also conceal my the darkness of my lid. So it helps in that. So it helps giving you that all-in-one look, conceals darkness both on lid and below your eyes as well. No, ladies, this is a step that I don't try to miss, and I advise you just the same. Using your foundation brush, no extra product. I basically get the edges of the concealer blended into my foundation. All right. I'm also using my Sasha Buttercup, and I just blew on my sponge to remove any excess powder. And ladies, never forget, once you lay down your concealer, you want to set all those areas. For me, it's a natural look, and so I did not use a mattifying primer. My foundation is not mattifying because I want to get that natural look. You set your concealed areas so it keeps your makeup together. It keeps it from melting or breaking apart as you progress through your day. And that is exactly what I'm doing. I'm just setting all my concealed areas to make sure that as I progress through my day, my makeup is not sweating or looking rather shine or oily. So I'm just going on in with my Real Techniques setting brush, and I'm just blending out. All right, you can see I'm going everywhere where I lay down that the concealed areas where I just did a massage. I'm pressing the product into my skin, blending it out, and also removing any excess products that I have on my face. Now I'm gonna go in with my black Radiance Dark to Deep powder contour, and this is perfect to use for my natural go-to makeup. Because it's powder, I don't have to worry about going in and setting the product, and I won't be using too much as well because I want to keep it as natural as possible. But this is why I am all for powdered contour. I will in future use cream so you guys can see how how I use it, but again, my fave is always the powder, and of course I love this brand because so far it's the only contour that works for me. I love the fact that it's dark enough, but I also have another shade that I can neutralize, or I can get it a bit lighter if I choose to do so. So with a light hand, I'll be going down the bridge of my nose, and this is with an angled shader brush. I love this brush for this particular purpose, and as I said, with a light hand because I don't want to seem too snatched, but I still want to have that nice beat. You'll see me going in the crease of my lids. This is really to add a little depth. I'm not using any shadows, but I want to add some depth to my eyes. Going into that Morphe times James Charles palette, I'm just using those two shades, and I'm using this just above my contour area where I'd normally use blush. I'm not a blush person, but I use these two colors and they work perfect because they sort of give my face a bit of bronzing, sort of like sculpting, if you must say, and I love it. It's not too light, it's not too dark, it just complements the tone of my skin, and that's really hard to find. That's really hard to find something that does that for my skin tone. Alright, so I'll be using the Ruby Kiss mineral powder because I went in with a light hand as it relates to my contour. This is working perfectly. Not too much product on the face, and using less gives you more in this case because I'm going to be going directly beneath where I have my contour, and it's going to create a perfect line. It's just going to outline my contour, the contour of my face perfectly, and I'll just be going around the perimeters of my face as well, and I'm pressing the products in together and getting it all blended out. Now I'm using my Morphe times Jeffree Star here, and I'm showing you ladies the distance that I'm using it, and the reason for this, using it too close is going to create a problem. It's going to create splatters on your face, and you don't want that. The perfect distance means your face does get mist, but it does not interrupt your makeup. Alright, so after spraying, I always go on in with said foundation brush. You can use a powder fluffy brush if you choose to do so, and you pat your face down. So I'm pushing the liquid or the mist into my skin to get it set perfectly. And of course, you can see that I'm going on in with my liner. Now with my liner, ladies, I keep it as natural as possible. I'm not creating any wing here. I'm just lining my eyes just to add a little extra, because my lashes that when I did off camera, the lashes are natural. I'm using now here my Jordana eyeliner. It's a retractable one in the shade Lavish Brown. The reason I chose a dark brown, I didn't want anything too harsh. I want to get my eyes, tongue twisted. I want to get my eyes outlined, but I didn't want it to be too harsh, and so that's the reason I chose to use a brown instead of a black. You can also use eyeshadows, for instance a brown shadow. You could use black and make it smoky, but I didn't want to do that. My choice was to just use that liner. Alrighty, going back in, of course, to my palette, I'm going to be using the highlight there, and I'm going to be applying it to, I'm going to be smiling, and I'm going to be applying it to the highest point of my face, which is my cheek. Alright, so whenever you're highlighting, you want to highlight the high points of your face. So that in this case is the tip of my nose and the highest point of my cheek. You can also apply it to wherever else the light hits, because you want to walk around with like that natural highlight. You want to walk around with the idea of the sun hitting you on the face. And honey, we know it doesn't, but we want to give that illusion.